Good morning, team. This is Krista with Michigan Primary Care Association. Thank you so much for joining us for our Thursday session, week 3, for the Community Health Worker Certificate Training. It's 8:30. We'll give everyone until 8:32, and then we will get started. Thank you so much for your patience. Good morning, team. This is Krista with Michigan Primary Care Association. Thank you so much for joining us for our Thursday session for our Community Health Worker Certificate Training. Hope everyone is well. I know we had crazy weather here yesterday, so hopefully everyone survived the night, or hopefully it's warmed up for you all in the UP. So I'm going to unmute everyone's line, so please be considerate, and if you are not speaking, please use your mute, so that way we have a clear call.
Hey, this is Jen. I just wanted to let you know I'm online with Shannon. We're sharing a phone line.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jen. Good morning. Hope you're both feeling better.
I was out. I'm a new aunt, so I got to participate in the process with that, so that is why I was out yesterday.
Congratulations. Shannon has a baby girl or boy?
The baby boy. It's my little baby brother, so.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. I'm excited. That's
my baby brother had his little boy. Shannon was out with strep throat for 2 days.
Okay, yeah, that's what I heard. I hope you're feeling better, Shannon.
Getting there.
Getting there. Good, good. Well, as our screen says, today is Friday Eve. Congratulations, you've made it through week 3 when we're done with our session today. So I hope you feel a sense of progress, and I hope you also feel that, you know, you're moving forward with, you know, just some of the core competencies that we have covered. So hang in there. We're getting there. You're all amazing, doing a great job. So today's agenda, we're going to do a virtual icebreaker. We'll review our core competency status. We'll review our quiz 1 and 2 from Healthy Lifestyles. I have a poverty simulation game that we're gonna work through. This is really neat. It doesn't so much go with mental health, but it really will be somewhat of an eye-opener for some of the scenarios. A lot of it you've probably encountered all the time. And then we're going to get started into our mental health core competency, which is our last of the 8. So we'll go through the mental health vocabulary will start in the first unit, defining mental health and mental illness, and then we'll go through any questions if anyone has any. So with this, our virtual icebreaker today is called the time machine. If you were able to travel through time, either forwards or backwards, where would you go? If backwards, and what time period and why? If there was a person you could go back in time and meet, who would it be and why? Would you just want to visit and come back, or would you stay? So you can just choose if you want to answer all of those. If you want to, choose one of those, I thought it would just be a fun way to start our morning today. So how about I'll just start at the top of our list with who we have logged in at this time. Danielle, would you like to start for us this morning?
I had a feeling you were going to call on me first. Let me see here. To travel back in time, I think it would be cool to travel back in time and see. I like the Victorian ages. I just think that whole era is really cool. I think it'd be cool just to see what it was like and then come back. I don't want to live in that area, in that era. And I also think it'd be cool to go back as a teenager, as a young adult, and maybe make some different choices. And then moving forward, I think it would be kind of cool to go a little bit forward and just see what my life will be like in 20 years. Am I going to have grandkids? You know what I mean? What are my kids going to grow up to be? That sort of thing. And then come back. So that's my answer. Mine wasn't very well thought out, because I was the first one.
Okay. I caught you off guard. I tend to do that too. But
yes,
I know if you have time to think about it, you're going to stress about it. So it's okay that you're at the beginning of the alphabet.
That's funny.
How about you, Jen?
Jen just stepped out for a moment. Oh, here she is.
Okay, well, okay, perfect. Sorry, Jen, caught you off guard too.
No, you're fine. Okay, so I would go back in time. For me, I would be a frontiersman, and I would be living in the wilderness and hunting and fishing and trapping and doing all that stuff.
Would you stay there?
And I would stay there.
Yeah.
There was no certain person I'd want to go through and meet, but
yeah. But that would be a really good fit for you. Maybe that was your first life.
That's what I think. That's why I said it probably was my first life was back then.
Well, the cool thing is you live in an area where you really have an opportunity to escape reality, and you don't have to go very far where you can participate in those things where you just love it. Good. Okay, Julie, you are my next on our list this morning.
I'm a forward thinker. I would definitely go into the future. I'm from the space age. I would love to see probably 500 years from now what the world would be like and where we'd be going in time and space. I may want to stay there.
Cool.
So yeah, that's where I would go.
That's neat. Think of when we were kids and we were watching the Jetsons and some of those things that we now have. You have the refrigerator that can tell you the temperature, and it can do grocery lists for you, and all kinds of neat things. With our cell phones, we can control our home security systems. We can see as our garage door open. Just so many neat things that we thought at the time, probably as kids, wow, that's way cool. Wish I had that. We now have it. Any of those other questions there, Julie, that you want to answer?
No, it'd be neat to see, my future family, if I have one. But I don't know that I'd come back necessarily.
Okay.
I'd like to go to Mars or Jupiter.
Sure. See what's there.
Yep. Check out the planets,
You never know.
No, you don't.
Nope, you just don't know. Thank you. And Kristen, what of these questions would you like to share with our group?
I'm thinking of all of them, but I guess if there was a person that I could go back in time and meet, it would be Rachel Carson. I would love to talk to her about her. I mean, she wrote a pretty devastating book called Silent Spring, which is very, at the same time, I mean, it's so applicable to today, and so I'd love to pick her brain on that, and so that would be pretty awesome. And if I could go back to a time period, I'd love to go back to like the 50s and 60s. If I could be the age I'm at now during the 50s and 60s, that would be awesome. And preferably back to my grandparents' farm, because I would love to be farming. It's a beautiful place. And so that's where that's my happy place, gardening and farming. So, and if I'd go there, I'm pretty sure I'd stay.
No. That sounds like a good fit for you too, but at least you've incorporated some of those things that bring you to your happy place.
Oh yeah.
That's good. Glad to hear that. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen, for sharing. Marie, what would you do? What questions would you answer here with us?
Marie checked out for the week.
No, she didn't. She can't check out yet. It's Thursday. It's Friday Eve.
I wanted to make a point. You mentioned like the Jetsons or whatever it was, and how we never thought we could do that. That reminds me of the song by Brad Paisley, "Welcome to the Future." When he was a kid, he remembers how cool it would be to take an 8-hour drive and watch TV. Well, that happened. To have his own Pac-Man game at home, those kind of things. So that song made me think of that.
Who would have thought?
Yes. Okay. Anyways. I'm not much of a historian person, so to travel back in time, I would only want to go maybe like back to like when my dad was young. He was the 16th kid, and just seeing how, just not very many years ago, there wasn't all this technology stuff, and, they were playing games outside and doing things like that. Nobody I specifically want to meet, maybe just spend more time with my loved ones that are gone. As far as the future, I wouldn't mind seeing what the future looks like, but I probably wouldn't want to come back because depends what the situation looked like when I got there. If it was happy or sad.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Shannon.
I would have to say I'd go back to the 1800s. I've been working on a little project for our family for ancestry, and I've discovered that my 5th great-grandfather was a baron that came from Switzerland. He discovered a town and started like a plantation there, so I'm kind of curious to see what went on back that far, and that's kind of it.
Oh,
boring.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's boring. I think that's interesting. I love heritage, and I just love to hear all of that. I know my father's in the process of doing our bloodlines, in the process he's also researching my husband's. So he's retired and wants a project. So it's interesting to hear what he's finding. So I just love it.
It is. It's been a lot of work, but it's kind of become a hobby now, so I just keep digging and going as far back as I can. Some of them we can go back 7 generations, but on one side I kind of got stuck in that area, but I don't know. I'm just going to keep digging to see what I can find.
Absolutely. No, that's great. Thank you for sharing, Shannon. I know for me, the question here that I would answer if there's a person that I could go back in time and meet, it would be my father's mother. she passed away when my dad was 5. So, oh no, he was 4 or 5. So that would be my person. One of her sisters, one of my great aunts, says I am her. So it would be really neat to have had the opportunity to meet me as a older generation in my family. So that was my answer with the time machine. So thank you all for sharing. So just going over our core competency status, we are going to be in progress today with the mental health. And like I said earlier, I really hope that each of you feel that you've grown as a community health worker, and this time together has been useful for you. I certainly appreciate you cramming in everything that you're doing with, training, with still, doing your role while you're in your health centers and trying to keep your personal life all in check. So hang in there. I know it's tough, but you're doing a great job, and I really believe that this time together is really useful. I always believe if I'm an expert in an area, even listening through a session, there is something that I can learn. I mean, for me, this is my 3rd time going through this training, and every day before I'm reviewing what I'm going to cover, it's like, oh, I forgot about that. That's great. Let me dig into that. So I know for me, knowledge is power. So thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate it, and we're getting there. So I thought we would then review our healthy lifestyle quiz 1 and quiz 2. How would everybody like to do this? Do you want to go through and read questions, or do you want me to just go through and give you the answers so you can review yours? What's everyone's choice?
Okay.
Well, let's go through and read them then, and that way we can talk about them. If anyone has any questions why an answer is a particular way. Let's see, we're missing a couple people today, so we have 6 people on, and we have 5 pages. We have 20, 24. How about Danielle? Can you read or give us answers? Read and give your answers for the first 4 questions. That's
okay. Yeah, I know. And that's the one we're starting on, the nutrition, exercise, and sleep quiz, right?
Yes. Thank you. It's the Healthy Lifestyle Quiz 1.
Okay. And you want me to read the first 4, read them, and give my answers?
Correct.
Crystal,
hey.
this is Jen. I just wanted to let you know real quick that I just faxed or emailed mine off to you because I was gone yesterday.
Okay, yes. I see it. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Shannon, close
So, number 1, nutrient-rich foods include the following. A, whole wheat bread, butter, fruits, and vegetables or peanuts. B, whole wheat bread, eggs, skim milk, fruits and vegetables. C, whole wheat pasta, yogurt, margarine, fruits and vegetables. Or D, whole wheat bun, hot dog, yogurt, fruits and vegetables. And I picked B. I don't know if that was correct or not. Okay.
It is. It is. Does anyone have any questions about why B is correct? Any concerns? I'll take the silence as a no. Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2. Okay. When building a healthy plate, how much should be fruits and vegetables? A, 2/3 of the plate. B, 1/4 of the plate. C, most of the plate. Or D, half of the plate. And I put D, half of the plate.
Correct. So that's a great one that you can take a look at too, or if you're a visual learner, Choose My Plate has that great image. Anyone have concerns or want to discuss number 2 and why half the plate is correct? Perfect. Thank you.
Number 3, the dietary guidelines advise anyone who has high blood pressure to eat less than a certain amount of numbers of sodium. A, 1,000 milligrams, B, 1,500, C, 2,000, or D, 2,300, and I picked D, 2,300.
It's actually 1,500 milligrams, so it is a little bit lower than the 2,300 milligrams. If you have high blood pressure, 2,300.
Oh, you know what? I was not even reading that high blood pressure part. I was just reading the normal person.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like the average person is a 2,300.
Yep. No, and that's exactly right. So it tricked you. It's okay.
Yep. Okay. Let's
Does anyone have questions about number 3 and why it is the 1,500 milligrams? Nope. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So number 4, foods to limit when following a healthy diet include the following, except A, foods high in fiber, B, high sodium foods, C, foods high in saturated and trans fat, or D, foods high in added sugars. And I put A, foods high in fiber.
Correct, because it's the following except. Otherwise, all of those would not be included or wouldn't be suggested in a high, in a healthy diet. Of course, the high sodium is going to make you bloat, could increase your blood pressure. Saturated and trans fats is just bad, and added sugar, of course, can add to, weight gain and diabetes. So, thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Good job.
At least I got 3 out of 4 right.
Yeah, that one tricked you.
It did trick me for real.
It did. It did. Perfect. So Jen, can you read and give your answers for 5 through 8?
Yep. Number 5 was added sugars are found in which of the following food or drinks? I put A for 100% apple juice, C, fruit punch.
Fruit punch would be the answer there. The apple juice would have sugar, but it's not added sugar. It would be natural sugar.
But most of the apple juices, my understanding is most of the apple juices, if you read them, have added sugars in them.
Yeah. And
there aren't any on the grocery store.
Definitely, I can see your point there. Yes.
Now, if it's homemade from fresh apples, yes, that would be all natural sugar.
Sure. No, I can certainly see your viewpoint there. Perfect.
But the answer should have been C, but that's why I added A. Okay.
Yep, no, I can understand your reasoning.
Number 6, you are talking to a client who is trying to lose weight. He explains that all he has for breakfast is a bowl of cereal. You read the label on the box and notice there is 110 calories per 1 cup serving. You ask him to pour a bowl of cereal like he does in the morning. After measuring the cereal, you find that he is eating 3 cups of cereal. How many servings is he really eating? That would be C. He's eating 330 calories because he's eating 3 bowls, and each serving is 1 cup.
Correct.
Number
Anyone have any
7.
questions about that?
Oh.
Sorry. Nope, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. Number 7, how many teaspoons of added sugar are recommended for men and women? That would be A, 6 teaspoons for women, 9 for men.
Correct. Anyone have questions or concerns about that answer? Oh, okay.
Number 8. Number 8, 1 serving of a sugar-sweetened beverage can do, excuse me, can do all of the following except C, provide important nutrients your body needs.
Correct. All of the others, of course, are things that it would do, raise your blood sugar, especially in those with diabetes, add unnecessary calories, and usually provide more sugar than recommended in an entire day. Any questions or concerns with that answer? Nope. Okay, thank you.
You want to go on?
Could you do number 8? Yes.
That was the last one I just did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize. Julie, could you take care of 9 through 12 for us?
Yeah. Okay, you can skip me. That's all right.
No. You'll do fine.
Oh, no. According to the CDC, the leading causes of preventable death are type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and certain cancers. These are all related to what other health condition? I put B, obesity.
Correct. Does anyone have questions about that? Of course, the other answers could really lead into those, becoming obese or diabetes and such.
Okay, number 10. You are meeting with a client who is trying to lose weight and is from the Congo. She is having trouble losing any weight despite tracking her eating. You look over her food log and have never heard of the food she describes eating. What could you do to help your client? A says meet her at the grocery store where she buys her foods to learn more about it. B, ask her to show some of the foods she is describing and review their labels if available. C, help her find cookbooks with healthy recipes native to the Congo. My answer was D, all of the above.
That is correct. Does anyone have questions about why that would be the best process to help your client or your patient? Nope. Okay, perfect. Thank you. On to number 11.
What is the most important step someone can take if they are trying to eat healthy on a limited budget? I put A, plan the menu and make a grocery list so every food purchased is for a purpose.
Correct. And then B, C, and D are things that can help support, eating on a limited or purchasing on a limited budget. Does anyone have any questions about number 11? No? Okay, we'll move on to number 12.
When shopping on a limited budget, it is a good idea to avoid. The only one that made any sense to me was D, reading the ads and specials because stores just want you to spend more money or something like that.
That could be, but also convenience food.
Do.
Yeah, convenience food would be something you could avoid here too, because they do cost more than if you're purchasing food and then preparing it yourself. The ads and the specials really could support, what you're going to purchase on a limited budget.
Yeah, I think that was just worded weird because it said to spend more. So I didn't.
Well, and sometimes too, reading them out loud, you'll go, oh yeah. So, does anyone have questions about number 12, concerns why it would be the convenience foods because they cost more? Oh, go ahead, Anjanette. We've got your number or your line unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay, I think that sometimes, even though that is the answer that I picked, I think that sometimes convenience food is cheaper. Little things you can get those little Debbie cakes 4 or 5 for $1. You can get ramen noodles. Those are convenience foods. They like 20 cents a piece. So there are some things that you can actually get that's cheaper. You can get the frozen burritos and stuff like that for probably 89 cents. So even though, because, you know, sometimes the healthy foods are more expensive.
Definitely, that can be. But then when you're looking at, I guess, looking at this answer, we're talking about healthy lifestyle. So you are right; those things could be cheaper, but they're not necessarily a healthier option. But sometimes
Right,
you need
it's
to
not
do
a healthier option, but it did mention in the question limited budget.
Correct. Yep. And it probably should then look at it. It should say when shopping on a limited budget for healthy food.
Okay.
Maybe worded that way, it would bring, you know, only to the convenience food because they cost more. But no,
Okay.
certainly.
Because you know what, you bring a good point. When I first read the question, I said the same thing. Convenient foods usually cost a lot less. However, now that you've talked it out, I figured out convenience foods might cost less on the upfront, you know, going through and purchasing them. But in the long run, they will cost more because if you have detrimental health problems, you'll need to be on medication, go to doctors. In the long run, it does end up costing you more.
Correct.
It will cost you a lot more.
Yeah.
It will cost you a lot more, but who's thinking about that at the time you're trying to make ends meet and pay for food on a budget? But I did put convenience food though. But I was just playing devil's advocate.
No, and absolutely. So when you're saying that, Anjanette, that's a really good point. So if you've got a patient or a client that is trying to make ends meet and they have $50 for the week for food, and they need to feed a family of 3, I mean that's a challenge.
Absolutely.
You know, if you have $150 to feed that family of 3, it is easier to buy some of the fresh fruits and such that be more expensive. So no, it's definitely a reality for some of your patients to think about and talk through with them. Thank you so much, Julie, for your answers, and thank you all for very good points there. Kristen, could you read for us and give us the answers for 13 through 16?
Sure. You are seeing a client that is 43 years old, mentions she runs out of food for herself and her kids, ages 6 and 8, by the 3rd week of the month. What food resources could you refer her to if she meets the income requirements? And I put C, SNAP and local food pantries.
Correct. Does anyone have any questions about that?
No, I know I put WIC and SNAP, but I forgot to look at the 43-year-old.
Yeah.
Get WIC.
WIC is for those ages with kids 5 and under.
Yeah.
Right. But if it said it was ages 4 through, 4 and 5, that's something, or 3 and 4, we could certainly look at that. But if they'd already exhausted their WIC opportunities for the month, then we would have to look for other options. Perfect, thank you.
What is the main reason that people give for not exercising? I put C, lack of time.
Yes. Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
I disagree. I disagree.
I put lack of motivation.
Yes, I put B and C because when I followed it in the book, it showed
said B and C.
Did it show B and C? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And
Me too. I mean, that's what I put
it really could be all of them.
But in the book, it did say motivation and time were the biggest one.
Okay. And that was where I was like, okay, main reason. I was trying to think of the one like that I was going back and forth between the two. So that makes sense.
Actually, the main reason, they've got for the guide is lack of time. But I can totally agree, lack of motivation. Lack of resources, I don't so much agree with, because walking is free. You do need to have a pair of shoes. You can walk barefoot. It might not be such a good idea, but it is possible. So does anyone have any concerns with 14 other than we think it could be BNC? Nope. Thank you.
Number 15, which statement best describes the physical activity guidelines for healthy adults? I put B, 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity exercising.
Correct. Any concerns with that, 150 minutes? Perfect, thank you. And then number 16, Kristen.
Identify one of the health benefits for someone who exercises regularly, and I put B, reduced risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease.
Correct.
I chose B, sleep deprivation can impact.
Anyone have concerns or want to talk through why that's the correct answer? Nope. Perfect, thank you. Good job, everyone. Let's move on to quiz number 2.
A community health worker can help community members take their medications. I put A is encourage clients to take their medications as their doctor has prescribed them. Encourage clients to keep taking their medications even if they feel better. Help them apply for free or affordable medicines. I put all of the above, D.
Correct, that is right. Does anyone have any questions, want to talk about that, or concerns why that would be the best choice? Nope. Okay, thank you. We'll move on to number 2.
Okay. Why is it important for clients with chronic diseases to take their medication?
to take their medicine the way the doctor prescribed it. A, it may allow them to be part of a research study and they may get paid for their participation. B, it can reduce the risk of developing other diseases or problems and improve the way they feel. C, it will cure their disease. D, it can improve their immune system so that they don't get sick as often. I put B, it can reduce the risk of developing other diseases or problems and improve the way they feel.
That is correct. Does anyone have any questions, concerns why that would be the best option for the answer for number 2? Nope. Okay, perfect. We'll move on to number 3.
Number 3, what type of relationship is encouraged between clients and their doctor? A, the doctor is the leader. The client does whatever he or she says. B, the client is in charge of their own care and they should make the choice that seems right. C, doctors and clients are partners in healthcare. They are on the same team. And D, the doctor really isn't important if the client is living a healthy lifestyle. I put C, doctors and clients are partners in healthcare. They're on the same team.
Yep, that is the right answer. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or want to discuss why C would be the right answer or the best choice for number 3? Okay, we'll move on to number 4 and our last question.
Last question, number 4. What are 3 things a client should do to prepare for a doctor's appointment? A says, make sure your doctor has your medical records. 2, bring a list of all the medications you take, including over-the-counter ones. And 3, write down questions you want to ask. That's A. B says, don't take any medications the day of the appointment so the doctor can see how you are doing without them. 2 is check with the other people that are healthy to see. I chose A.
Correct. You are right. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about that? I know this is where we got cut off yesterday. I apologize. There was another team that had a webinar starting at 10 o'clock, and they didn't look at the calendar when it was scheduled, and should have really scheduled theirs for 10:30, not 10. Okay. Well, very good. Thank you, everyone, for reading through those so I didn't have to talk at you. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about those 2 quizzes? Okay, thank you. Well, we will move on to the prove it scenario. It is from a religious organization, and it's going to ask us for a donation at the very end. So please don't be offended by that. We're, of course, not going to do that. But it asks us some really great questions. And then from there, it's also going to give us some situations that neither of the options are really great. And then it'll give us the results. So let me get this here. And this one doesn't have any sound. So what we'll do through this is if each of you can provide me an answer, anyone can answer, and we'll walk through it. We're gonna try to find a job. So through this scenario, you've lost your job. After a couple of months of unemployment, your savings are depleted. You've lost your house. You're about 2. You're a single parent. You have $1,000 in your savings. That's all you have to your name. So we're going to walk through the choices, and it'll give us some different options and such. We're going to see, can we make it through the month with finding a job? We're not going to just exit. So there's our balance. So you're running out of money. it's time to get a job, any job. Here's what we have to choose from for jobs. So there's the warehouse second shift, $9 per hour, 12 to 7 p.m. We also have a restaurant server. It's 2 to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. So it's 3 hours for 3 days a week. $2.13 per hour plus tips. So it says hours vary, so I would hope that there might be an opportunity for some more hours or some really awesome tips. Or there's an office temp. Again, hours vary, experience is needed in administration and attention to detail. $9 an hour. Which one do you think we should choose? So we've got a restaurant server, the warehouse second shift, or the
warehouse.
I was going to say I'd say the warehouse because
it's a steady job. There's room to change, maybe to a different shift eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So we'll choose that one. So with that warehouse, of course, it says stay healthy. All that lifting and repetitive packing can be brutal on your body. So our weekly pay will be $306 per week. As we all know, the ACA requires you to get health insurance. The good news, your child is covered by the state. The bad, you aren't. Which plan should we choose? The gold plan is $329 a month with a $15 copay. A silver plan is a bit less, $268, but a $25 copay. The bronze plan is even less here. It's $232 with a $45 copay, or opt out to have no insurance, and the responsibility fee is $12 per month. Notice I didn't say penalty, Danielle. Penalty is negative.
I would say, looking at this, because I've had clients in a similar situation, if they feel like they could afford insurance, then I would say the silver plan, because I know that silver plan has a lower copay and lower deductible for the person. However, at the end of the day, if they're only bringing home, take home, what was it, $300 a week, times that by 4, $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
They probably don't have the extra money, so they might choose to take that penalty of the $12 a month. But then you're taking that risk if something happens, you know, you could potentially have thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, of cost. So that's a tough one. I have people go both ways on that one. So I don't know. Somebody else say their opinion.
I was going to say if it was me, I would opt out.
Okay, but
that's just where I've been in the past, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to take good care of myself in the best way I can, and hope that things work out.
Well, and I guess each of you kind of know too. You work in federal qualified health centers, and there's an opportunity for health care without ability to pay. No one's turned away. And probably most of you know, with working with your patient population, that there are sometimes foundations that will help pay bills. So of course, I'm not saying that the $12 penalty is the right way, just saying that if a patient, if this is their choice, there are things that you can then support them or let them know about with that option.
Absolutely, and I'll say for sure, anybody with that income that I have come across has never paid for that much for silver plan. You know what I mean? They've opted out.
Yeah.
Not at that income.
I wish this option here had, you know, Medicaid, or for us, we're an expanded Medicaid state. I wish that was an option here. That would be the best option. Apply for Medicaid. So we'll choose the opt-out penalty.
My thought on that real quick is the opt-out as well, because if the person's spending $300 a month on their insurance, they can always put that aside in the bank if they have the willpower to do that. And if something should happen, they could pay it that way.
Sure.
Which they're not going to do.
Exactly, but you know, that's one way for them to think about it is if I have to pay it in, I can just try and save it if I need it. If not, I can't really afford it anyways, you know, and use federally funded places, or, you know, if you're in a vehicle accident, hopefully car insurance would cover it, things like that.
Yeah, and all of you have really probably heard this many times, especially you, Danielle. You've talked through it with them many, many times. So in our scenario here, the results, when the penalty for not buying insurance is so low compared to the cost of the coverage, it's not a surprise that the low-income workers like you are opting out altogether. So totally seems like that in this scenario, it's an option that's, you know, occurs very often. So now we need to find a place to live. So if we want to live close to work, notice our balance went down $12, went down to $988. So now we need to find out a place to live, because our other place to live, we've lost our house and we're a single parent. If we live in the city, which is close to work, it may be more expensive. Or if we live a bit out of the city, we're going to have transportation costs. So which do you think would be better for us to choose?
So is the $725 the living in town, and the $83 is the extra travel cost?
Yes.
Which equals 808.
So we want to live 0 miles? Or let me try clicking on.
Okay, I guess I'm confused. Because that's the same amount of...
It looks to me like it's the same amount either way. It's just if you want to live in town or live nearby or far away.
And keep in mind you're a single parent and you have 2 children. So if you are living a bit out of town, how long is it going to take you to travel those miles? And now you've got an increase in potential for daycare. Or
yeah, I would say the 0 miles $725 then.
What does everyone else think?
I would agree with that, because I've been there, and it's easier for you to live closer to town where you can walk to a store, walk your kids to school, whatever it takes, than to be out further.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So that was the right, we should have chose, let's see, you choose to live farther away from your job so the rent is lower, but your gas costs are higher. It didn't let me choose. I guess that one, I'm sorry. It chose a bit further. In fact, every dollar a working family saves on housing, they spend an additional 77 cents on transportation. Your apartment is too small for your stuff. What do you want to do? Rent a storage unit for $45, have a yard sale, or ask a friend to store it?
Have a yard sale. Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
We're having a yard sale? Okay.
Depends what it is. You might need it in the future.
Well, they don't have room to store it.
Get rid of it.
And we got rid of it.
Okay.
So you sold a bunch of stuff, but only made $150. But I guess when your bank balance is $180, that's almost 100% increase. So
Yep.
So, you know, day 5, we now have $330. We're only 5 days into the month. You're sure you weren't speeding, but the cop gave you a ticket, disagrees. What do you want to do? Pay the fine of $250 or contest it in court?
Contested.
Good luck.
Always they will drop it at least a little bit. They'll drop the amount. If anything, you still have the ticket and the points, but they do drop the amount if you contest it in court.
Really?
It did
go to
for
court?
me.
Uh-oh.
No, I had special circumstances.
So
but I tried.
If we pay this ticket, we are going to have $80 left, and it's 5 days into the month.
Yeah, I would say contest it and then maybe even, state your current situation. You're a single parent, you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. And that would leave you down, that would leave you basically no money for the whole month. Maybe the judge will be somewhat nice to you.
Or maybe it'll go into another month.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe pay part now and pay part next month.
Well, I will contest it in court because a lot of times, and I can tell you my own experience, they just want some money, and you could get a lesser charge by saying I really didn't mean it. Okay, you were impeding traffic. That ticket probably be probably half of what that is.
Okay.
I would contest it, and either the judge would let you off, or you would just pay a lesser fine for a lesser offense.
Are we in consensus? We're gonna go to court.
Sure.
Let's see. Results. You get the ticket dismissed, but you had to spend the whole day in court and pay a $50 court fee. So you came ahead $200. Oh no. Job strike. It's easier to look for extra ways to make money if you have access to the web, but you don't have internet at home since you moved. What do you want to do? Sign up for home internet, $60 a month. Get online at the public library or go without internet.
Get online at the public library.
Public library.
Library.
I just found out yesterday the library in Ryder City is taking their public computers away because somebody was downloading some governmental something on it. So that's kind of sad.
That makes me very sad because that really, for a student, or my internet at home is down, it doesn't work, I'm going to the library.
Yeah.
And that has happened to me. So
we went without internet at my house for 5 years, and I just always went to the library.
Yeah, I mean, if it saves you $60 a month over 5 years, that's a lot of money.
Well, not only that, but like a lot of places have hotspots too, like McDonald's or different places like that have free Wi-Fi. So even if you didn't have access to the library, you could still, you know what I mean, like go to those places where they have those free hotspots.
Yeah, McDonald's.
If your computer doesn't have a virus and it's functioning. But yeah.
Well, don't be a negative Nancy.
It's
I'm just throwing that out there.
So are we in consensus we're going to the library?
Yep.
Yep.
For you and millions of other Americans, public library internet access is a critical resource. Over 44% of people living below the poverty line visit the public library to get online. That's a lot of people. So,
yeah.
Okay, we're to day 7. A bunch of friends are going to a free concert tonight and you want to go, but you have to, you've got a kid to worry about. What do you want to do? Get a babysitter for $30 or stay at home. Your balance is $280 and you're in day 7 of the month.
Take the kid with you.
Take the kid.
Throw the kid on your shoulders. That or you better stay home.
That's not one of our options. So are we getting a babysitter or are we staying at home?
Staying home.
Staying home.
But you know how many people out there would get a babysitter for that?
Yeah, it depends on your priorities. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I'm really stressed and I've had, a couple of deaths in the family. I haven't seen my friends for months because I moved. There's several different things that, someone may choose a different answer.
Yes, but we'll just not go.
Well, we'll stay home. We just moved. We're really tired. So results, everyone needs a break sometime, except not everyone can afford one. That's probably why stress levels are higher among low-wage workers. It's a sad reality. Okay, day 8. Without warning, your landlord has raised your rent effective immediately. When you argue that the increase is illegal, you were told if you don't like it, you can move out. What do you want to do? Pay it. It says it went up $150. Find someone else to live or ask a friend to help.
I'm going to look
That's
for
a tough
somewhere else
one.
to live.
Yeah, but then you have all the extra security deposits and moving expenses. That's a tough one because it is
It's an
illegal.
expensive thing.
Yeah, it's,
I feel like moving would cost you more than $150, even though hopefully you would get your security deposit back from this place. That's no guarantee. You don't know what the security deposit is at the next place. Yeah, they say that some of the biggest cost expenses, are like divorce and moving.
yeah.
I think I'd try and ask a friend too to see if there's anybody out there that has experience with that and what they did and where they can go to fight that.
Right, because that is illegal to do that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough question there, I think.
I think I would definitely reach out to my friends and see, hey, what do you know about this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Ask a friend for help.
Yeah.
Oh, went to my Facebook. That's scary. Okay, your car registration is due. It'll cost $250 to get your car road legal. What do you want to do? Pay the money, take your chances. It's day 9 and we have $280 back.
At this point, you have to take her chances, I think.
Yeah.
You'll have no money left.
Right.
I've had to do that, so I understand that.
Yep. What does everyone else think? Should we take our chances?
I'm curious.
Oh, I don't know. That's a scary one.
Woo! I think
That's
neither
a
of these
scary
are
one,
a good option.
I would
Right?
take my chance. Yeah. Luckily, I've never had to do that before, but I think if I were put in that position, I probably would take my chance. I would take my chances, yeah.
Okay, so we'll take our chances.
Drive extra careful.
Yep. You'll save money in the short term, but you have to pay a $100 late fee for waiting, and if you get pulled over, you're looking at $1,500 to get your car back.
Right, that was my fear. Yeah, that was my fear too.
But it didn't take any money out of our balance because, of course, it's payday. Woohoo! We got $300. So now we're at day 10. We have $586. Your child has been identified as gifted, invited into the school gifted program. The materials for the course cost $50. What do you want to do? Pay the money? Apply for a scholarship? Decline the opportunity?
Apply for a scholarship.
Apply for a scholarship.
Apply for a scholarship.
I agree. I don't think there's even a discussion on that question. To get the scholarship, you have to meet with a counselor in person, which will cost you half a day of work and earn you a job strike.
Son of a gun.
I guess in my opinion, though, if I can get that scholarship for an entire year of school, to me, for my child's future, that's only half a day's work. I think I would sacrifice that for my child. I shouldn't say I think. I know I would. Okay. Oh, no. So I've got job strike number 2. I'm day 11 into my new job. So the local community college is offering an online course in computer science, which would be your ticket to a higher paycheck, but the class costs $200. What do you want to do? Sign up for $200 or maybe next semester?
I think I would do it. I would take the class because, hopefully I'm going to continue working and get another paycheck, and maybe this will help me get a better job.
Mm-hmm. Anyone in disagreement with sign up for $200?
Yeah, that's a tough one, too.
I know, it really is.
Because sometimes you can go through all that and you get nothing for it,
It's kind of like going to college and not getting a job in your degree, which happens frequently.
Right.
So.
Right. It's happening more and more. I'd probably do it, though, if it was me right now.
I honestly would hold off till next semester.
Okay, so we've got one hold off. Anyone else saying hold off? How
I
about
feel
raise your hand?
at some point in time, you know what I mean? Like, at some point in time, I have to make a move. If I don't want to be in this job forever, and I want to do my, get better, at some point in time, you may have to make that move.
Yeah.
Believe me,
Yeah,
I did do that when I went through college, My student
Right.
loans were
Well, it's not
still
saying
off.
never. It's saying maybe next semester. So you're waiting, what, 4 or 5 months?
So how about if you want to sign up for the class, raise your hand on your screen, on your side there. Okay, so I have 4 for sign up. So, someone put theirs down. I've got 3. If you want, I'm going to clear hands. Next semester, raise your hand. Oh, sign up next, or sign up 1, because Kristen, you're the only one that raised your hand for put it off, sorry. Money may be tight, but you have to eat. Remember, these groceries need to last you a few weeks. What do you want to buy?
Eggs, bread,
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yep.
Toilet paper.
Eggs. Oh.
Maybe
Peanut butter.
some chicken. Chicken's usually kind of cheaper.
And the chicken, too. It's a 3-pound bag
definitely
for
get beans.
$7.
They'll go a long way.
Get what? The beans?
Beans.
Yep. You get a can of beans for $1, good protein. The milk is $4. Yeah, that's a 3-pound bag for $4. Should we get apples?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, those will last a few days.
Cereal's $4. Cheese is $3. Fish sticks, $3. Those are fish sticks. They're not. Carrots. A bag of baby carrots is $3. Tomatoes, $3. Spaghetti, $3.
Milk. Need milk for your kids.
Need milk. Milk is $4 a gallon. Wow, that's mean.
How much are the hot dogs? I bet the hot dogs are cheaper.
$1.
We should probably take the hot dogs and put the chicken back.
But this is a 3-pound bag of chicken.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Back?
You can make a lot of meals.
Yeah. Orange juice, $5. No way.
No.
Ramen noodles, 4-pack for $1. See there, Anjanette?
The drink is usually $1.
I get the carrots last a long time. How much were those?
The carrots are $3.
I would say because you can put those for your chicken soups and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put them in the kids' lunches.
Yep. What
The
about?
drink mix is only $1 if you want something to drink.
Or could you drink water and not use the drink mix at all?
You certainly could. That's what I do, but.
Yep.
Probably people would buy spaghetti and sauce.
Yeah, spaghetti and sauce stretches.
I think it looks good. We got lots of food now, hopefully.
What about the ramen noodles? Not the healthiest, but it's food. 4-pack for $1, yeah.
For $1.
Yeah, 4-packs for $1. That's cheap.
Yeah, because that's 4 meals pretty much for a child or somebody. Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
4 meals.
We want ramen noodles?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
$35. That looks good.
Okay, so we'll pay that. Almost 15% of American households had a hard time getting enough to eat in some point during 2012. So this was based off of 2012 prices. So we'll just say that's, so our balance now is $351. The flu has been going around and it just hit your house. Your child is running a fever and has the chills, but you're supposed to work. What do you want to do? Send or stay home from work, send them to school sick, leave them home alone. Unfortunately, this doesn't say how old the child is.
You're going to have to stay home.
Unfortunately, some of them will send them to school or they will leave them home alone.
but that's not what our person wants to do.
No, I know, but that's what they choose a lot of the time.
Yep. Matt,
If
remind
they're
me.
old enough to stay home alone, I would do that, or, you know, see if they could go to grandma's, but that's not an option, so probably stay home from work.
And I can tell you a lot of them send them to school.
We have 2 strikes at work, so this could be the 3rd strike if we stay home from work and we're going to lose our job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess we better send them to school, or
What
leave
if
them
they
home
go to
alone.
school? We send them to school and the school calls to come and get them.
Right. And leave them at home alone. If they're like a 3-year-old, we could get arrested.
Yeah, there's not a real good option for people, unfortunately.
No.
So, but what if this child is 13?
Then they can stay home alone.
I would leave them home alone.
Yeah. So are we leaving them home alone?
Sure.
Yes, leave them home alone.
You know why a recent study found that parents in, now you know, a recent study found that parents in Baltimore leave their kids home alone more than people in Honduras. Interesting. So we've got a couple of options over here too that I should have pointed out. We can smash our kids' piggy bank for $16.23. We can donate some plasma for $25, or we can get a payday loan for $50. So we'll keep those in mind. 2 bills are due today. I guess I made those points just at the right time. What do we want to do? Pay the gas bill for $100, pay the electric bill for $125, pay them both for $225, or borrow money from a friend. We have $351, and both bills would be $225. What should we do?
You have. What's your heating unit? Gas or electric?
That I don't know. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
So if it's
Yeah, that's
January,
a tough one. Depends on the time of year.
January,
I'm sure I'd pay the heat bill.
right? Or
Might
if
have to
you're
break open
in
that
the
piggy bank.
So are we getting the piggy bank?
Yeah.
No, I would say donate plasma.
How about some plasma? Okay.
What for the year is it?
That I don't know. It doesn't say what time of the year it is, so I'm not sure if it's warm, and I'm not sure about their heating choices either.
If it's winter,
I would.
other places, so you look at what you want, what would be your priority. So you can go at other options. It's wintertime, if it was summertime, but it really depends on, you know, what type of heating sources they have, what type of, if you needed electric, gas, what you needed to pay, and determine.
So let's say they have gas heat, and it's January.
I'd pay the heat.
One of the biggest problems that a lot of my patients run into is when they're not paying it, then they get the late fees, and those late fees are what adds up the most.
Okay.
I would say because you have kids in the home. Those are your important bills. Those are gas and electric. We have enough money in the bank. We could pay them both.
That's what I would do too.
In 2 days.
Yeah. We got a little bit of food. Hopefully we're going to get a better job, or we're getting another paycheck. I've got the money. I think we should just pay this bill now.
I think that, and we're at day 14. Payday is day 17.
Yep.
Yeah, I would pay it.
Pay them both? Okay.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of people in society these days maybe wouldn't pay it, but,
Yeah.
you know, everyone's got a different take or a different view.
Yep. Your best friend from childhood is getting married, and they want you to be in the wedding. The problem is it's in another state. What do you want to do? Fly to the wedding? $350. Say you can't go.
Say you can't go.
Can't go.
Okay, that sounds unanimous. Okay. Oh no, the phone is ringing. Do we answer it or do we ignore it?
Ignore.
Probably ignore it. Why we can't go.
The
Do we
collector.
ignore it? Ignore it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That or it's our friend wanting to know why we can't go.
I turned the ringer off.
Oh. So we turned the ringer off and we didn't answer it. And if we don't make a payment on your car, it will be repossessed. Just like 1.3 million autos were repossessed in 2012. Okay, car loan, $500 to make that go away. It's payday. Woo, we have $426. A little exercise goes a long way for both keeping you healthy and relieving stress. You need to start a regular fitness regimen. What do you want to do? Go to a gym, $25. Ask a friend to be your running buddy or put it off.
Ask a friend to be your running buddy.
Yep, it's free. Go once again to my Facebook. I don't get it.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Your tooth has been hurting for weeks and it's starting to get unbearable. You need a root canal, but you don't have dental insurance. What do? Get it fixed for $400. Use some numbing gel.
Use numbing gel.
Numbing gel, and hope you can find an FQHC with dental.
I'm not using
Numbing gel.
Okay, we're using numbing gel. Let's see, results. 1 in 4 American doesn't have dental insurance, and without coverage, putting off basic care could mean emergency surgery that's twice as expensive. But, you know, what do? Dental work, $800 to make that go away. Ouch. During a routine traffic stop, a police officer spotted your expired registration tags. Dang it. Your car's been impounded and it will cost $1,500 to get it back. So what do you want to do? Pay the money or give your car up?
Well, we live in town.
Yeah, we live in town.
So we can walk to work and walk everywhere we need to go. So I guess we're giving it up. And we can't afford the $500 in back payments anyway.
No,
And it sounds like you're a crazy driver. Been pulled over twice in a month.
So I probably shouldn't have a car anyway. So we're giving up the car. Oh, no car means you can't. Oh, no, this is no, we're in the country. No
yeah,
car
remember,
that's right.
Which means you're out of a job. You know, you won't get any more paychecks, so money is really going to have to stretch. Okay, you've lost your job. You won't get any more paychecks, so you have to make the money last. Your child's class is going on a field trip, $15. Should we pay the money or pay it?
Yeah, it's for your kid, and it's not a ton.
It's only
we better
$15.
pay it. I'd pay it.
Your child comes home in tears and threatens to stop eating lunch because the other kids made fun of all the free lunch kids. What do you want to do? $3 a day for lunch or risk them going hungry?
Talk to the people at the school. I'd be marching my butt right over to the school.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the wording, risk them going hungry. You know what I mean? However, we don't have money to put into their lunch account. So like Kristen said, go talk to the school and then risk them going hungry. I don't like to say that, but.
So we're risking.
Yeah.
If they get hungry enough, I think they're going to eat the lunch. Your child isn't the only one. Many children who qualify for free or reduced cost lunch choose to go hungry rather than facing the stigma of being identified as poor. 2 bills are due today, so we have a cell phone or car insurance or pay them both. We don't have a car, so doesn't really apply, but what should we do?
Pay the cell phone.
Does everyone
The
say
cell
pay
phone
the
their
phone?
only. Is cell phones their only phone, right?
Right, and I don't have, my car is impounded, and I haven't paid the registration.
Yeah, so we're just going to pay our cell phone.
Your phone will stay on, but you better drive, well, and we know we can't drive in this scenario, but in tough economic times, the rates of uninsured drivers rise. Not because people don't care about insurance, but because, you know, like in this scenario, can't afford it. Oh, now we've added insurance, all kinds of orange things over here. Your kid has a friend over, and when you hear the telltale sound of the ice cream truck, they both run over to the truck. What do you want to do? $5 for ice cream or say no?
Get some money out of their piggy bank. No.
Oh, there's
Have them pay for it
$13.
themselves. Yeah.
Good point.
want
They
it
can
that
buy
way.
their ice cream.
So are we smashing the piggy bank?
Sure.
And they're getting some ice cream. A friend sends your child a card with $10 inside. What do you want to do? Give the child the $10 or keep the $10?
Give the child back the $10.
Yep.
The child gets it.
Give it to the child. They can put that back in their piggy bank that we smashed. Your income level qualifies you for food stamps. What do you want to do? I'm not even giving you a choice. We're applying. The good news is that you're approved for benefits. The bad news, they won't begin until next month, which it's the 25th. Now it's the 26th. Your child wants to join an after-school sports team, which requires a physical and a uniform. It's $50. What do you want to do? We have $346. It's the 26th of the month.
And then difficult.
It's
Yeah,
difficult,
I
but
would do it. It's going to keep your kid out of trouble.
yeah.
Yeah, I think yes.
Well, it's encouraging exercise too. So let's see. Trying to keep your family afloat is wearing you down. You think you might be depressed. What do you want to do? Get a prescription for antidepressants, $175. Talk to a therapist for $50, or pretend you're fine. We have $296.
Talk to a therapist.
I think that'll go a lot further probably than the antidepressants and pretending you're fine. So we'll do that.
Great.
Even with a sliding scale, it's still $50, and that's just one session, but we did it. Your child's sneakers are falling apart, and it's time to buy new ones. Name brands are important, but they don't come cheap. What do you want to do? Buy the name brand, go to the thrift store for $10.
Go to the thrift store.
Yeah, that one's a no-brainer. It was $10. Your pet is sick and won't get better without treatment. Pay for treatment, $400. Have your dog put to sleep, $50. Let your pet suffer.
Oh, God.
That's a tough one, but
Their choices are crazy.
Yeah, these are.
Well, you don't have the $400, so that's a no right there.
Right.
You have $236. And do you want your pet to suffer?
No.
Well, I would say
get
I don't
better,
want him to. I don't want him to suffer, but maybe I can give him some alternative things like some essential oils, or you know what I mean.
A friend,
Like
Johnson.
but that's not one of the choices. The choice is either you
I
suffer or you
know.
put them to sleep.
I would rather put my animals to sleep than let them suffer.
I would. I did. I put my animals to sleep. So.
Yeah, we're saying goodbye. Your stress level is through the roof these days, sorry. A friend who hears you venting, offers you a cigarette to take the edge off. What do you want to do? Light up or say no?
No.
Oh,
We'll light up, though.
no. One of the main reasons people start smoking as adults is stress. There's a misconception that smoking relieves stress, so some people pick up the habit during difficult periods or life transitions. And we learned yesterday that that's not always the case. It can rise your adrenaline and such. So you've made it through the month with $186, but ends due tomorrow. So this is the end. So this is where I said it's asking us to make a donation, which we're not going to go there. But I thought that this was an interesting and just a factual scenario for us to walk through. Kind of a day in the life of what your patients and patients or clients may be experiencing, and just kind of gives us a little bit of empathy. Some hard choices. Some of those I wish there would have been more choices there, but there was not. We all know that there's different things out there that could have been done. There's some resources out there which you're working on building with your windshield map or windshield survey. So MDHHS, if you have an affiliation with a church, the United Way, MPCA. I mean, there's many different options that could be out there that could also be explored. So what did everyone think of this scenario?
Pretty interesting, pretty neat. All in their options weren't the best, but it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I mean, there is definitely, like I said, that not all the options were the best options, and there's a lot more out there than what they offered, but it was still good.
Yeah. Maybe one thing too to think about as a CHW, like you said, Kristen, all the options weren't out there. So there's an opportunity as a CHW to help educate your patients. Give them all the options where this didn't have all those options that could potentially be available. If they're with you and those are the options that you know about, would you explore and see, are there other options available? You know, so there's just some different things that we can certainly look at. So kind of a fun exercise. We did not today get to start mental health. We will start that on Monday after Danielle's presentation, and we'll still be fine. And Danielle, you will be amazing.
Oh man, first thing Monday morning.
No. First thing. Well, we'll start first thing with myself. I'll do my normal, and like I said, we've got the opportunity to practice, where you and I will switch back screens. You know your teammates that are here listening to you. One thing that you might want to do before Monday, and when I send out the recap, I'll send out the feedback form. Have your feedback form ready. Have that printed out for Monday or up on a Word document or however you want to take care of it, so you can jot down some notes. And what we'll do after each of the presentations is we're going to pause. And I'll give you an opportunity to work on, you know, putting in some notes. We'll pause for, say, about 10 minutes after each presentation, so you'll have an opportunity to put some notes down. And then we'll move forward with those. So that's a little bit of an update for next week, how presentations will work. If any of you would like to send me your PowerPoint for me to take a look at, feel free, or we can look at it when we've got our time scheduled for, you know, switching screens. At the time when we do our check-in, if you have any other questions or concerns that you would like to talk with me about, that's a great opportunity for me to help support you if you do have anything to talk about. Any other questions, concerns?
So today I see that you have a printout for these journaling things for today. Yeah. What's it all about? So don't worry about that right now?
Don't worry about that right now. If you want to print those off, I'll actually carry that onto Monday's assignment.
Okay.
So for your work today and tomorrow, think about your PowerPoint presentation and your windshield survey. If you have to prioritize one over the other, of course, the windshield survey is due next Friday. PowerPoints we're doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So if you do need to prioritize, please do your PowerPoint first, and then you can go back to your windshield survey. If you have your windshield survey done, go ahead and send it to me. And like I said, this is for you as a reference guide. Whatever format you want to put it in. If you've got things already that you want to add to it, you know, you don't need to retype them. If you want to go ahead and you know, scan it or whatever to add it to when you email it to me, that's fine. Or if you want to fax it to me, that's okay. Any other questions, concerns anyone has?
Crystal, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. I just wanted to know, because Shannon and I are not able to access the online stuff to print it out, can you by chance just email it to us, please?
Absolutely. When I send the recap, I'll send the forms that I have attached for today that we'll use on Monday along with the feedback form.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, Jen. Does anyone else want anything for resources when I send out our recap this morning? Okay. Any other questions, concerns?
No.
Nope, gonna just keep plugging along.
Plugging along. So happy Friday Eve. It is 10 o'clock, right on the nose. So, thank you everyone for your time. Let me know if you have questions or concerns. Give me a call or send an email. And if we don't have time scheduled for a PowerPoint, session for review how to switch to be the presenter, please send me an email of a time that will work good for you for today or for tomorrow. I can also do Monday if Monday works better for some of you, except for you, Marie, which we've got you all set. Well, I'm sorry, Danielle.
You can go over the PowerPoint.
Did you mean me?
I meant you, Danielle. Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Crystal.
Yes.
You're saying that we can. You will guide us through the PowerPoint presentation. You have space open for Monday.
If you want, is Monday better for you, and Jeanette?
Yeah, Monday is better for me.
Okay, send me a time that you want, and we can switch. I looked at my schedule for Monday, and I should be good with Monday too.
Okay, then cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Send me a couple of options for Monday. So.
All right.
And then, if anyone else needs to switch to, certainly let me know. And in the meantime, have a super day and a great weekend. And if I don't talk to you before Monday, enjoy.
Oh, I'll be talking to you this afternoon.
Yes, you will.
Bye.
Me too. Bye now.
Have a good morning, all.